Tryna get the bands, mariachi. Boom, cut the sample, I'ma grill it. Hibachi, and I've been on 10 since 10 in the morning. Shining like a star, you should've seen it coming. Tryna get the bands, mariachi. Boom, cut the sample, I'ma grill it. Hibachi, and I've been on 10 since.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Key.
Shooting like a star, now you started running. When we headed to the
You came for battle, just
It's game time here in Miami as the crowds at the American Airlines Arena look to cheer on the hometown Heat. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. And, of course, Tyler Johnson. They'll need someone to fill his role.
Well, Kevin, no question it's a risky deal to make because you can sometimes sour your fans when you do that. I mean, trading one of the most popular players on the team is always high risk, no matter what you get in return.
Yeah, but it's a trade that I'm sure a lot of fans will second guess. Clearly a bold move, but as a GM, these are the things that are supposed to happen. You're going to bring scrutiny, and you just have to wait and see how this plays out. You have to focus on the big picture and what's going to be best for your organization moving forward.
And let's get a quick pregame update from David Aldridge, who had a chance moments ago to talk with head coach Nate McMillan.
Well, guys, he told me that today is all about setting the tone for the rest of the season series with this team. He said they're going to be a tough opponent for us every time we see them. And we've got to let them know right now, today, that we're going to be just as tough for them. We'll find out, indeed, if they can set the right tone, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David.
Ready to go? Ready to go?
And so the tip-off, it's Miami. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Monte and George filling out the perimeter. Young and Turner up front. And it's Teague in at the point. Bradley can't get it to go. On the wing, George. Inside, Teague. The shot's good on the assist by George. Teague's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Pacers. Pacers on defense. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at them.
Here's Ellis, following the score by Miami. Outside Teague. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. Here's Dragic. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Feeds to Bosh. Young with the steal. And here we go. Teague heading to the hoop. Finished off the break. Teague's got his second basket of the game.
Boy, that whole sequence just sums up some of the best parts of Young's game. I mean, that steal ignited that sequence.
And the slam dunk by Johnson.
I tell you, he's playing the game with pure excitement right now.
He capped off that dunk with some serious hang time on the rim.
Yeah, just couldn't contain himself. Couldn't control himself there.
Johnson with the block. Ariza with it. George picks him up. Dragic with a wide open look. Misses the three. The Pacers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. And guys, when you take a look at the Pacers offensively, one of the least efficient teams in the league. How do they turn the corner in that regard?
Well, they've got to get more playmaking. They need more guys that can make plays. They have a low rate of assists and high rate of turnovers, and that's mainly attributable to not having enough playmaking.
The Heat shooting their first free throw of the game right now. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Teague against Dragic. Screen by Young. Teague kicks to Ellis. Soft touch off the glass. Ellis has got his first bucket of the night.
Man, I like the way Ellis does not back away from working his magic in the paint. I mean, he's a crafty finisher who knows how to score from a lot of angles inside. I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has. They've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now here's Turner. An 11-point game for him in the win against Charlotte. From beyond the arc, a rebound by Johnson. The Heat leading by 3. Ariza outside, and Dragic has it in the corner. Dragic with another miss.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Teague the pass to George, and it's sent back by Bosch. In transition, here comes Miami, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. It's on Jeff Teague. For Miami, they have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. And he knocks down the first one. Johnson, he's checked in for Miami. The Pacers also changing it up. Al Jefferson is checked in for Turner. C.J. Miles comes in for Young. And Lance Stevenson subbed in for Ellis. Both free throws good from Dragic. Pacers trail by 5. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And as you would expect from the way he plays, Teague is a terrific free throw shooter.
And with the emergence of Dennis Schroeder as a viable starting point guard in Atlanta, the stage was set for Jeff Teague to be traded elsewhere.
Yeah, and Teague is a player who
2
rightfully
shots.
drew a lot of
2
interest
shots.
around the league. An athletic slasher and dangerous pick and roll operator. You knew he'd land on his feet.
And he makes the first. And the Heat with some changes. Lee's checked in for Johnson. Mills comes in for Bradley. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Goran Dragic. And the Pacers also making a change. Brooks checked in for Paul George. And so Teague hits 2 free throws. I read somewhere Jeff Teague said that if he wasn't an NBA player, he'd be a battle rapper.
Well, excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. And then Bosch with the jam.
You know, that's a case there, Kevin, of him making a pass to a spot, and then he let his teammate run right into it. Well executed.
To the paint. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Kevin, let's check out how Miami stacked up in the league stats over the last month. First in shooting percentage. First in fewest turnovers per game. And they're also number 1 in opponent field goal percentage. This is a team that prides itself on not giving up easy shots.
You said it all right there. The hottest shooting team in the league. And that tells you not only are they shooting it well, but they're also focused on creating terrific opportunities for one another.
The first one falls. Robinson's checked in for Indiana. And both free throws good for Jefferson. 1:57 left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Beverly. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Pacers trail by 3. Stevenson outside. Down low. Lee with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Beverly's got it. Here's Mills. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And checking out the stats for Stevenson, this last month he has been a real positive for this team. He's averaging 11 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
Yeah, in every way I think he's doing a much better job, and the numbers certainly support that.
And the first one drops. And good on the second, so he makes them both. 1:27 left to play in the first quarter. He dishes it to Miles. Screen by Jefferson. And Miles kicks to Brooks. Stolen by Beverly. Inside. Here's Bosch. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Oh, and a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip-in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there.
And great instincts, too, guys, anticipating where the miss was going.
And it's Stevenson missing.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Brooks kicks to Jefferson. Johnson with the defensive effort. The Heat leading by 7. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Now here's Miles. Defense right on him. Now the feed to Brooks. Shot clock at 5. The tray. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Heat lead by 7. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. Talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do.
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and, you know, still to this day. That's just the competitiveness that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And that kind of relentless determination is something Monte is known for. And one of the reasons he's been around for a decade in the NBA as a consistently good player.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
Excellent hustle, and you know the coach has to be pleased with that effort at the defensive end.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. George and Young are the forwards. Teague and Monte are the guard set. And it's Turner in at the 5. Ellis outside. Shot clock at 6. George, that's a 2-pointer. But they get it back. Turner.
Once in a while you have these kinds of games, I mean, where nothing is going your way. Nothing's working for you. They need to keep their heads in that situation. Just continue to play and try to work themselves out of it with good effort and concentration.
Lee kicks to Dragic. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. And at 6'7", 6'8", Thaddeus Young, definitely more a small ball power forward, but that seems to be the way the league is going these days.
Yeah, it is, and in spite of his ability to fit into that small ball mantra, he can get overpowered inside by the bigger forwards. He's quick off the dribble, an excellent left-handed slasher, and is capable of putting big numbers on the board when he gets it going.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Heat.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
You know, adding on to that, they've done a great job of challenging and changing shots in this first half, and they've gotten some blocks as well.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Outside Dragic. Out to the right wing. Inside Leaner. Lee gets the bucket. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, all of us saw Paul George's compound fracture playing for Team USA. It was one of the most devastating on-court injuries we've seen. But he's back now, and he says it put everything in perspective, that this game can be gone at any second. I've got to enjoy this ride, enjoy this journey. I'm much more happy. I just see things in a different light now. Evan?
Yep, great to have him back in action, DA. Thank you. A different look for Miami. Johnson, he's checked in for Lee. Reza comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Avery Bradley in for Patty Mills. Miami leading by 9. Dragic kicks to Ariza. A three-pointer off the mark. Pacers have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Miami's gone 0 of 3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. And Bradley gets it to go on the assist by Dragic. Dragic has got his 3rd assist on the night. George against Ariza. And George kicks to Turner. Turner with a screen for Ellis. From deep, George. And it's Miami with the rebound. Johnson's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Young with the steal. Now the Pacers moving it up. George with the ball. Kicks it out to Ellis. Turner dishes to Ellis. The shot by Turner no good.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
The shot by George wide open, and the Pacers can't get it to go.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Here's Johnson. Drops in the layup for 2. Johnson's got 6.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Clearly the reason for the timeout, Greg. I mean, he wants his guys to toughen up inside and start protecting the rim.
Patrick Beverly, he's checked in for Goran Dragic. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Miami.
And not a lot of attempts from beyond the break. Those deeper three-pointers can be a little outside of some players' range, but they've got guys who can make that shot. I think that's just an outlier so far.
Screen by Jefferson. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here.
And you know what? Just a little too much heat on that pass for him to come up with the steal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was going to be a tough catch for either one of them.
To the inside and taken away by Johnson. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. The Heat have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5. And the first one drops. And so he hits both.
And you're hot, you're hot. And that's certainly been the case for Johnson. He has 8 points and a block.
Brooks kicks to Stevenson. Indiana moving the ball around. Miles with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Screen by Jefferson. Miles the pass to Stevenson. It's hauled in by Beverly.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
It's Bradley on the wing. He's guarded by Stevenson. Bradley can't get it to go.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Beverly against Brooks. Back to Stevenson. They need this one. Another miss by Stevenson.
And offensively, they've gotten stuck on the perimeter, falling in love with the jumper.
And maybe shying away from contact a bit too, Greg. I mean, their free throw attempts are also down from the first quarter.
Pacers trail by 15. Pass to Jefferson. Kicks it out to Stevenson. No good with the triple.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, you can see he's still in rhythm, even though he misses that one. Almost always deadly when he's that open.
And the first one at the line is good.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
So Johnson hits 2 of them. 41 seconds left in the first half of the game. Robinson dishes to Miles. And Stevenson kicks to Brooks. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Pass to Jefferson. Will it go? No good that time.
Boy, they just cannot take the lid off.
Well, they need a basket in the worst possible way, and they've got to stop this run, and the only way you do that, you got to score yourself.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Heat out front, up 19. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks a lot, Al. What has the strategy been defensively, and what needs to happen in the second half?
Well, we just got to help. You know, we can't let everybody beat us. We just everybody got to help, and on the defense end, and getting the key and protect the paint.
Al, thanks for your time, man. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Kenny Smith, right there. And Shaquille O'Neal, he's right there. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. So it's Miami who's out on top at the half. They are dominating the scoring, leading by 19. And we'll go to Kenny first. What'd you see out there?
Well, it has been an electric performance. These guys were firing on all cylinders. They came out aggressive, going after those rebounds, and they were piling it up. I think they wanted to send a message with their physicality, and they're going to be nearly impossible to stop if they're playing that way.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, they struggle in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
And that'll do it, as the second half is just about ready to begin. Back to Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game. Hey, watch yourself.
I'm celebrating. We're the best.
Welcome back. American Airlines Arena, visible on the far right of your screen in that overhead shot of downtown Miami. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. Without question, Amir Johnson displaying his skills today.
Well, anytime you can get to the free throw line with that kind of consistency, that just makes every other facet of the game easy.
And, you know, they have to rotate the defensive assignment on him from now on just to avoid foul trouble on any one particular player, given how good he is at drawing fouls and how many fouls he's been drawing.
Pacers trail by 19. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the floor for Miami, they've got Amir Johnson, Trevor Ariza out there with Chris Bosh. Then there's Dragic, and it's Bradley in at the two-guard position. Here's Bosh, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Bosh has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Heat. And so here is Indiana. This game against Miami here, their first look at the Heat.
And this, the first of 3 games these two teams will play against one another this season.
Yeah, you know, these are two rival teams that will see each other a fair amount this season. We'll see which team can tip it off with a win.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Miami Heat is still relevant in the East. The team made some excellent roster moves to bring in new talent after losing LeBron James to Cleveland a couple of years ago. Coach Spoelstra said, how many teams, if you lose the best player in the game, can have a compelling team 13 months later? You know, Kevin, in Miami, they don't stay down for long.
Thank you, DA. A championship caliber organization from the top down.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
Well, he's an intriguing player, Thaddeus Young. I mean, you look at his frame and his game. I mean, he seems like he'd be a small forward, but he's played at the power forward position for years now, and I think that's in part due to the way the game is played now in the NBA with stretch fours and spacing the floor. Thaddeus Young fits into that kind of game quite well.
The Heat have been exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9.
2 shots.
And collectively, they're only about 73% as a unit right now.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
And that one falls for Dragic. He certainly can score at the power forward. Young has ability to space the floor and attack off the bounce. He's pretty special at that position.
Yeah, he really is. You know, he came into the league only after a year in college and has grown into a reliable scorer as a slasher and small ball four-man. So he's found and carved out a nice niche for himself.
And the Pacers call time here.
And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you know, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
We take a look here at the shot chart.
And when you look at this shot chart, you get a good visual of just how often they are settling for something outside. They have to know that this defense wants them to take those kinds of shots, and they would be a lot better off if they recommit to attacking the basket.
Here's Teague, 8 points for him. To the middle, here's Turner. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Turner's got his first basket of the night.
Exceptional skills for Turner down in the paint. This guy, I think, has the potential to be a dominant player inside for a lot of years.
And the shot goes in. And it's 8 points for Goran Dragic.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
No coverage that time. Ellis has got his second bucket.
You know, he almost pulled the trigger on that possession, but recognized that there was a better option. That's what we mean by playing for your teammates.
Back to Dragic. Makes it off the glass. Dragic has got 10.
And still perfect in the second half. 4 straight makes.
Outside, George. No good from outside.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Here's Mills. Unable to get that one. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans, they'll match up against the Pelicans. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
The Heat making a switch here. Beverly's checked in. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Al Jefferson's checked in for Turner. C.J. Miles comes in for Young. And Stevenson's checked in for George. And it's Brooks in for Jeff Teague.
Monte Ellis, hard to believe he's got over a decade in the league already. Right out of high school, back in the mid-2000s. This guy is an outstanding scorer, driver, and surprisingly good as a playmaker, too. If you let him get to his right hand, you're in a real trouble.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Brooks, the pass to Jefferson. Screen by Jefferson. Stevenson kicks to Jefferson. Just 5 on the clock. Fades and shoots. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. And Ellis always aggressive, looking to score. He's instant offense, guys.
Yeah, he's high-octane offense, one of the best in the league at getting into the middle of the defense and making good things happen for his team.
Mills, well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Mills has got 10 points in the game.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Miami leading by 23. It's Ariza on the wing. Here's Bosch. The shot from the low post is good. He has 6.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Brooks outside. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Here's Beverly. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. The Pacers pull it in. Now Brooks, looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Ellis outside. The dish to Jefferson. Ariza with the rebound. Ariza's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Beverly against Brooks. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
I'll say, I mean, that's when you expect the defense to be tightening up, not backing off or backing up.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. It's the Heat running away with it. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return. Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And Miami shooting is beautiful right now. 60% for the game. Pretty much everyone out there has been stroking it. On the court for Indiana, we've got Lance Stevenson. Kevin Serafin is out there with Allen. Then it's Robinson, and it's Brooks in at the 1 spot. And the dunk by Reed.
Now that's the way it's done. Take it up high and throw it down with everything you got.
That's right. He was not going to take the soft approach on that drive.
I would certainly hope not. I mean, you get that kind of opportunity with little resistance from the defense, you got to take it.
Robinson dishes to Brooks. 6 on the shot clock. Indiana needs to get a shot off from beyond the arc, and Robinson gets it to go on the assist by Allen.
Well, I tell you what, Allen, a pretty cerebral player, and he does a nice job for a big guy finding open teammates.
Shoot it!
Now here's Ellington. Brooks covering. Lets it go from 14. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. And Stevenson kicks to Robinson. Good work there as it goes.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. The Heat leading by 22. About a minute and a half through the 4th quarter now. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Miami.
When they've had a chance to attack the basket at any point in this game, they've taken advantage.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
And that one falls for Bosch. And so Bosch nails both of them.
Bosch has been having his way out there. He has 8 points, and his 2 blocks have given them a lift defensively.
No doubt about it. He's been a rim protector, and it's starting to get into the heads of their opponent.
Hey, all the defense can do is get a hand up on George. I mean, he's an elite talent who can make contested jumpers a lot of times. So can't get your head down. This guy can really put it in the basket.
Here's Dragic. Pass to Johnson. That one, no good. Good work defensively by Turner. Ellis outside. Dishes to Young. Kicks it to George. Screen by Ellis. Teague for three. They get it back. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. It's going to be on Avery Bradley.
And while Young is serviceable at the line, not terrible, there's still a lot of room for improvement.
At the line for the Pacers, Thaddeus Young, 2 shots.
And that one falls for Young. And so Young nails them both. The Heat leading by 20. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. And Teague has it in the corner. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. And that's now 11 points for Teague.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Ellis against Bradley. He feeds it to Johnson. 6 to shoot. Again, the miss by Johnson. Pacers trail by 17. Ellis kicks to Turner, and he gets the bucket.
How about the vision of Ellis? Nice job finding guys in their spot.
Right side Bosch. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
Free throw good. Bosch. And so Bosch nails both of them. And it's the Pacers' ball. They're on a 14-4 run. Outside, George. Not enough on that one as it misses.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Bradley passes to Dragic. Here's Johnson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Amir Johnson, 2.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Johnson. And both free throws good for Johnson. On offense, here are the Pacers. They're on a 14-6 run. Teague a screen on Bradley. Ellis dishes to Turner. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Miles Turner, the 11th overall pick last season out of the University of Texas, only spent 1 season in college. But this guy very well could be a perennial all-star. The Pacers think they've gotten a steal. He was a 19-year-old rookie who showed he already understands how to hold his own at both ends of the floor.
The first free throw is good. And Turner was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. What caused him, guys, you think, to slip to 11th in the 2015 draft?
Well, you know, he didn't have a huge impact at Texas. Only played there 1 year. There wasn't a full body of work on his resume. Some even looked at his awkward running gait as perhaps a chink in his armor. But he trained with track coaches, developed his hip flexibility, and really has been working on his mobility and had a strong rookie season.
And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Bradley. Timeout called, the Pacers. They're losing by 17. 1:49 left in the game.
Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. So I like this timeout here to try to get those guys reset and refocused.
Here's Teague. Screen by Ellis. Shot off the screen. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Boy, the confidence that George brings to his game is also confidence that impacts and injects his teammates. He's a high-octane scorer who's ready to go as soon as the game starts and whenever he gets the ball.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as